What do you think if I told you that kindness without strength is weakness, but kindness with clear boundaries is power? Being kind should be a choice, not a reflex, should be a tool, not a personality trait, should be a strategy, not a survival method. You must learn to draw boundaries even when others feel uncomfortable. You must learn to protect your mental space even when someone feels offended. You must learn to walk away from disrespect even when it disappoints someone. Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, working hard, treating everyone kindly, patiently for your opportunity, but in the end, you're still the one being overlooked while others who put in less effort keep moving forward? You know that feeling when you're always polite to your boss, always ready to help colleagues, but when it comes time for a promotion, it's the other guy who gets it, the one with less experience than you, but he knows how to get everyone's attention. Or when you're kind to everyone around you, always saying yes when people ask for favors, but then they take it for granted, don't even say thank you, and you wonder why you keep feeling like everyone else's emotional garbage can. And the question that haunts you every night before sleep is, what did I do wrong? But here's what will make you rethink everything. You didn't do anything wrong at all. You're actually doing exactly what they taught you, exactly according to the mold that society drew for you since you were tiny. The problem is that the rules you're following, those rules that sound so good and so moral, they were designed from the start not to help you succeed, but to keep you in your place, safe, easy to control, and never becoming a threat to anyone. Today, I will show you clearly how these rules have bound you. Let's dive in.
Firstly, they taught you from childhood that honesty is the most sacred thing, that telling the truth will make you a good person, that transparency is a noble virtue to be honored. But there's one thing they never mention, and that is, complete honesty, unconditional, unfiltered, can destroy you. Not because truth is bad, but when you reveal everything, you become predictable, vulnerable, because you're controlled by others. In the real world, the man who speaks everything without thinking is the man who is gradually giving up his power. He reveals his plans before executing them. He exposes his fears before understanding them. He displays his intentions before they mature. And society will use every piece of information you give to use against you. People don't respect radical honesty, they exploit it. They turn it into a weapon, they twist it, they judge or gossip about it, and they use it to lock you in a box you can't break out of. Understand this clearly. When you share too much, you're handing power to others, because power doesn't lie in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. Once people know your intentions, they can block your path. Once they know your weaknesses, they can break your spirit. Once they know your dreams, they can sabotage your future. In silence, you cannot be touched. In mystery, you are respected. In controlling information, you are powerful. You don't need to lie, you just need to learn to choose. Choose what should be revealed and what should be kept hidden. Speak with purpose, not emotion. Not everyone deserves to know your thoughts. Not everyone is qualified to understand your struggle. And not everyone can handle your truth without turning it into a weapon. The wise man uses truth like a strategist uses a sword, carefully, precisely, and only when it strengthens their position. From the moment you were born and began to understand the world around you, society started whispering a consistent message in your ear. Blend in. Don't stand out too much. Don't be too different from everyone else. Teachers, parents, friends, they all sang the same tune. You must know how to get along. Don't be different from others. You must know how to live so people accept you. It sounds safe. It sounds warm, but it's actually a perfect trap disguised as good advice. Because the harsh truth is that when you try to blend in completely with the crowd, when you try to become exactly like everyone around you, you're turning yourself into a faded shadow that no one can remember.
No one remembers the face of someone who looks exactly like 10 other people in line. No one remembers the name of someone who says what everyone else says. No one respects someone whose dreams are exactly like everyone else's. Look at history, and you'll see that every name that still echoes to this day, whether it's Edison, Einstein, or anyone else you can think of, they all have one thing in common. They refused the mold. They wore clothes that people thought were weird. They asked questions that people thought were stupid. They chased ideas that made people laugh, and they walked their own path while the crowd followed the GPS on the familiar road. And that's not arrogance or self-importance. That's the only way they could breathe in a world full of copies. So why are you still grinding down your own edges? Why do you keep silencing the jokes that only you find funny? Why do you hide the dream that keeps you up until 3 a.m. just because someone once said, "That sounds weird," and you believed them? Your difference is not a weakness to hide. It's a unique fingerprint that no one can copy. The way you laugh a little louder than others, the random knowledge you collect, the music playlist that no one understands why you like, all of that is your brand, and you need to embrace it instead of apologizing for it. So from this moment, type in the comments, "I stand apart," to remind yourself that your difference is not a risk, but your crown.
Rule 3. Always be humble. Excessive humility makes you invisible, and invisible people are never respected. People misunderstand humility. They think humility means lowering your presence, hiding your talent, shrinking your abilities, and pretending you're less than what you really are. But that's not humility. That's self-erasure, and it only breeds disrespect. Because the truth is, people don't value what you hide, they don't admire what you downplay, and they don't respect what you pretend not to have. The world is full of people who secretly hope that talented people will dim their light, because your strength exposes their weaknesses, your growth threatens their comfort, and your confidence reminds them of their own fears. So they keep pushing this idea: stay humble, don't appear too strong, don't show off. Why? Because a man who knows his value and isn't afraid to show it will be much harder to control. Real humility is not pretending to be weak. Real humility is remaining calm even when you know your worth. It's knowing your strength but choosing not to boast. It's having power but not needing to trample others. It's showing confidence without falling into arrogance. And here's the truth few dare to say: if you don't show your value, others will define that value for you. If you don't claim your abilities, others will take your opportunities. If you don't stand tall, others will step on you. So remember, humility should be chosen, and it needs to serve your path. Rule 4. Be nice to everyone. When you try to please everyone in your environment, you are slowly erasing yourself. You say yes when your heart wants to say no. You help people who drain your energy. You give time to those who never value it. You protect people who will never protect you. You smile while inside you feel heavy from disrespect. And society calls that good behavior. But that's self-betrayal disguised as kindness. People always say they love kind people, but pay close attention. Those same people ignore, exploit, and step on the overly nice man. Why? Because constant kindness signals that you don't respect your own boundaries. It signals lack of confidence and desire for acceptance. And nothing kills respect faster than needing acceptance. Because when you stop trying to please everyone, you stop betraying yourself. And here's the paradox society never wants you to realize. The moment you stop needing acceptance is the moment people start respecting you. People trust the man who holds his ground. They admire the man who sets standards. They follow the man who isn't afraid to say no.
You don't need to be rude. You simply need to decide who deserves your kindness and who doesn't. When someone crosses boundaries, you respond. When someone disrespects you, you step back. When someone takes advantage, you cut off access. That's how you earn respect, not by pleasing everyone, but by protecting yourself. So from today, type in the comments, "My boundaries matter," to remind yourself that your boundaries are not selfish, but self-respect.
Rule 5. They often say, "Be patient, your time will come." All your life, they told you to wait for the right moment, to be patient because your time will come. But here's the reality no one dares to admit. Waiting keeps you stuck at the bottom, and patience becomes a prison when it turns into passivity. Years pass while you sit quietly, hoping that someday someone will finally recognize your effort, your struggle, your ambition. But the world doesn't reward silent waiting, it rewards bold action. Most men waste half their lives expecting an opportunity to appear magically. They tell themselves, "My chance will come someday," but they never take the actions that create that chance. Meanwhile, the man who refuses to wait, the man who steps forward even when not fully ready, the man who builds his own door instead of waiting for someone to open it for him, that's the man people respect. Action creates respect. Initiative creates influence. Boldness creates opportunity. A bold man shapes events, while a passive man is shaped by them. But society teaches you the opposite. They tell you to wait for approval, wait for the right moment, wait for comfort. Why? Because passive people are easy to control. They don't cause disruption. They don't create competition. They accept their place without fighting. You weren't born to become a spectator in your own story. Your life changes the moment you stop expecting others to choose you and start choosing yourself. Stop waiting, start deciding, start acting, start building, start becoming the person who forces doors to open. Power doesn't come to men sitting in the corner hoping to be chosen. Power comes to men who stand up and seize what aligns with their purpose. Think about this. How many goals have you delayed because of fear? How many dreams have you left untouched because you were waiting for the perfect time? How many opportunities have you let die because you told yourself you weren't ready? Therefore, decide today. Your time doesn't come by itself. You bring it into existence. Type in the comments, "I move first," to take your steps.